I want you to understand what is going on here in the world of gaming. There's been a shift for probably about what, maybe a decade now, about game ownership in digital games. And a Ubisoft executive, I mean, his take is insane, but it's not that far off if you really think about it. And I think we're in some trouble when it comes to this. So let's talk about this. Not too long ago, this had to be a couple days ago, the Ubisoft director of subscriptions, obviously he would say this, director of subscriptions says that gamers need to start feeling comfortable with not owning the games they're playing. Yeah, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily against digital, games or whatever the case may be, long as you get to keep them and they're yours, they're on your hard drive or whatever the case may be. But these companies always take another step. It's either, buying the game on disc, and then there's the DRM on the disc, and then the DLC on the disc, and then they want to take the disc away and move it to digital, and then the digital stuff have DRM, the digital stuff have DLC in their files, and now it's going to subscription based. Subscription based Game Pass is a phenomenal service. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not a bad service. I like Game Pass. I mean, I don't have it anymore, but I like the concept. But now you got to start thinking about it with these subscription based, things. I could be a part of the problem, but are we a part of the problem because we are, cool with getting these subscription based, models? And now, they're slowly but surely going to get into doing this more. I think that I haven't read the whole article. I don't even want to read it because it kind of disgusts me when you think about them taking things back that you purchase. And it's really a thing where you have to understand that you're going to be getting games and you're not going to be able to have them for your the time you purchase them. Don't get it twisted. They're going to try this with $70 games. They're not just going to do this just with subscription basis. I know a lot of people saying, oh yeah, it's a subscription. You got to get used to having games that are subscription based. And, once the subscription's over, then they're going to take them back. Cool, fine, I get it. But trust me, they're always taking the steps. I've lined out the steps for the earlier in this video. What's going to happen next is like, okay, well, we could take subscription-based games away. Why don't we just say, okay, licensing issue, we're going to take away the games that you purchase? I mean, they're already doing it with other forms of media. The subscription-based model is working with not games, but is working with music, it's working with movies, it's working with all those type of things like Netflix and Apple Music and Google Music. I think the other one, what's the other one? Spotify and Apple. They're already using all of those. Like, so once you get those out of the way, games are gonna be next. So when you're talking about not owning, games, like, yeah, they want everybody on a subscription. They want everybody on the subscription. And like I said, I'll be the first to admit, I can't speak for the other ones because I've gotten away from PlayStation Plus. I don't care for PlayStation Plus. But what Microsoft has done with Game Pass, I think it's a really good deal. You got to understand, people who have kids, people who don't want to buy a whole bunch of games at once, they have all these games just by paying a monthly fee. It's a pretty good look. But when that right there is where it should end. You shouldn't get to the point where now we're going to start charging you to have these games and you're not owning them. Because see, what they're going to try to get away from is either like they're going to let you pay $70 for a game and get ready to take it from you under the basis of these subscription-based things or licensing issues, or they're just going to try to get everybody on a subscription and none of these games are going to be available to purchase unless you buy a physical copy. And once that happens, and then, I ain't gonna say once it happens, all hell break loose. I think for the most part, I've gotten to the point now where I just don't really look forward to buying new games for my PlayStation 5. On PlayStation 4, I don't mind buying games for that console. Anything, Xbox One, I'm a little iffy on that. But the Xbox Series and the PS5, I just don't feel comfortable buying any of those games. Even the physical copies, I just don't feel comfortable, I think every game should do what Baldur's Gate 3 did, just like make everything, out in the open. And I think there's some issues with that game right now too, but I'm just saying, just have these games out in the open if they're going to be a physical copy. If they're digital, you can keep your digital stuff over there. do your DRM and all that, but all the physical stuff should be mine. And I'm not sure if they're going to be keeping this physical copy of games thing going. Well, what was going to happen with the next PlayStation? Hell, Xbox already talking about they may not even make another Xbox after this because they're possibly going third party. So I mean, Nintendo's like our only hope where you can buy these Switch games on SD cards, and and I think it's over when Nintendo decides to do this, and I doubt if they will. I mean, they love the fact that people buy physical copies for the most part. I know there are some games. I don't think they're their first party games, but there are some games out there that you know they give you a digital code for some of this Switch stuff. Maybe they'll do that with the next one. I think Bayonetta was like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but it's going to come a time with all of this. They don't want you to have these discs anymore. They don't want you to have any of these copies of games. They want to have their IP and they want to have their your money at the same time. It's basically they want to have their cake and eat it too. Give me your money and we keep our games. And that's basically what it's going to be now. So you got to be really mindful. And for me, somebody who's been in the, I've been in the gaming, hobby for, over 35 years now. I just don't know how much more I'm going to be invested into the newer stuff. I'm probably going to be in the situation where I'm just going to be dealing with what I have. And I don't know, man. I don't know, because stuff like this makes me really wary. Maybe this may be the last generation I may be invested in. Like after the PlayStation 5, I don't know what the PS6 is going to hold. I don't know what Xbox is going to do. Nintendo. I mean, my son is going to be on Nintendo. I can feel that. I can see that now. So he'll probably want the new stuff for that. But for me, I may not even. I might just be on my PC, man. I mean, that's just how it feels right now. And no telling how PC is going to go because that's kind of weird too. But I think I said enough, man. Let me know what you guys think, man. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for the viewership that's been going up. You guys are great. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.